Good evening. Good evening, family. Today is March the 8th, International Women's History Month or Day. And I'm here to basically talk about today's event. Today there was a press conference, a long awaited press conference for homes for the neighbors without addresses. It's a long time coming. But today they held the press conference. And of course, I've been, advocating for almost 30 years for the less fortunate. 30 years for housing, job equity, local contractors, equity. This equity and human rights for all Newarkers for a very, very long time. And today, I was able to witness a press conference today. The city just employed one of Newark's advocates who's been also on the front line, along with community advocates, addressing, the plight of homelessness, Sakina Hope. I want to give thanks, for her, tenacity, for the incredible work that she's been doing along with Bridges Outreach. Like I've always said that, Sakina, is, bar none, one of the greatest advocates who surfaced, here in the city of Newark to address this crisis. Very sincere, very passionate, compassionate about this issue, and also a mover and shaker, and really, really, her heart is really in it, but she went on to be with the city of Newark, and I had my issues with this administration, failed leadership, no other way to describe them, because this state of homelessness is nothing new. It's nothing new under the sun. And as I always say, millions of dollars of homeless prevention money, housing assistance coming to the city every year to address this very situation that I'm talking about today. I wasn't able to do a live. For some reason, I found out that I've been banned from Facebook Live for, I don't even know the reason. They said I posted something February the 19th and found out today that I was banned for 60 days for doing live. So that's why I'm doing this live on YouTube. Well, actually video in it, and it's going to upload to my YouTube. But I just wanted to give my community response about today's event. With all the rallying cries, all the protesting that, Homes for All, we did a march this recently, housing for all levels of income, council meetings after council meetings, trying to get our elected officials in City Hall and on a county level to address this homeless crisis for so many years, but particularly this year during COVID, during the winter time, which is also code blue, which is a state mandate under the Christie administration, to see that the city didn't provide a cold blue shelter, an extra one, because the point of count said that Newark numbers has increased from 2018, 2019, and 2020. The numbers went up. Based on the numbers going up, it was like about 2,000 or more, but it's definitely more than that, because you're not really covering people that's sleeping around in abandoned houses, sleeping, doubling up with their families, people who just don't want to even deal with the failed leadership in City Hall, the unprofessional leadership. You seen my live yesterday that I was able to upload on Facebook through my YouTube channel, to see how I was actually being terrorized and harassed while coming there, as an advocate, to see about the project, get, more insight about the project. And I was, followed around by the mayor and one of his, I'm not going to say all the security force that was with him. This one security police officer came and forced me to get off the property while I was on there about 10 minutes. And as I walked through the gates through security, security let me in, and I was talking to Sakina for a few before being approached, minutes later by this person occupying City Hall named Ras Baraka, who's, I don't consider him my mayor, because my mayor wouldn't be acting no way, shape, form, or fashion in a manner. So I'm not claiming him as that. But anyway, the homeless pandemic has gotten out of control here. Really, really bad. They was coming up with all kind of excuses, people dumping people here, and, and they coming here from other cities and states and all kind of stuff. But the fact of the matter is that those are Newark residents, the majority, a great majority. You might have a couple of isolated incidents where people coming in from out of town, from whatever reason, they probably came here through the halfway houses, because we have a huge amount of halfway houses, here in Newark, Telly House, Logan Hall, and people come here and they end up staying for whatever reason. But the fact of the matter, like I said, and I'm going to continue to say, federal dollars can travel and be used wherever a person, wherever they are. It's our federal dollars. It's the people's tax-paying dollars. Okay, so who are you to say who can't utilize the services? But anyway, let me get on with what I want to talk about. I give thanks for the fact that we have 7 containers, okay, that was developed, and I have an issue with the development, but they were very cordial and nice people coming here from California to develop these container homes for the less fortunate. But I'm going to get on with that later. But 7 containers, gonna house 20 to 24 neighbors without addresses. They got 4 showers, I think it was, and 2 to a room. They have a few rooms that's gonna be available for couples, you know, married couples, people who are in relationships. And we have a few of them that's out there together without addresses. It's a whole lot of land there that I was very much concerned about. That is city property, okay? Public-owned property, city-owned property, a lot of land. Millions of dollars, okay? This administration here under Biden-Harris, they just actually voted on, I think it's $45 billion that's going to be allocated specifically to housing the homeless and housing assistance alone. This administration. I'm not even touching on the money that came from the CARES Act under 45's administration, number 45, okay, who I don't consider my president either, but I'm going to call him number 45, Trump. We're not even going to touch on the money that came through from that administration, okay, yet. But this administration alone, $45 billion allocated for housing assistance and housing the less fortunate, neighbors without addresses alone. And I'm going to say to you, state citizens, citizens of the state of New Jersey, citizens of Newark, I'm going to say to you, if you do not follow the money, follow the money. $45 billion, I just said, that is going to be allocated towards housing assistance and housing for the less fortunate neighbor without addresses. And it behooves you all to follow the money, ask questions, call on a independent audit, follow up on this money. Because if you are advocating for individuals without addresses and also for housing equity in your community, and if you allow these individuals to waste and mismanage this funding, shame on you. Shame on you. Now, I just said that with all the rallying cries, all the protesting, all the lives, all the putting them on spot at the council meetings, calling them and provoking accountability and holding them accountable, we end up getting 7 containers for 20 to 24 neighbors without addresses, and we need more. We need more. Because based on the information, and you probably, if you haven't heard by now, go, look at the city's live that they did, which they broke down. They gave you the who, what, when, why, and where, and how, who's involved and all the partners and all of that. And the pilot program is going to be 90 days, and it's a possibility they have to go, find more funding to continue on after the 90 days. Okay, which is always some kind of excuse about money when I just said $45 billion is being allocated from this administration, the Biden-Harris administration alone. $45 billion. I can't give you a correct number under number 45's administration, but I can tell you right here, right now, that the city of Newark received millions of dollars. I put an open request in November of 2020. Here it is, 2021, March the 8th, 2021. And as of today, I haven't received the correct amount of money that was poured in this city under the CARES Act, under Trump's number 45's administration. That's my alarm, excuse me. Under his administration, I haven't received an accurate number as of yet. Because they said based on the Oprah and me having to go to the council meeting just last week to raise the issue about where was my Oprah request that I put in since November 2020, and here it is 2021. What happened to my Oprah request? What happened? So they just threw something together and said that there was like $1.5 million in that budget. When I know daggone well, with all the money that came in from, now I'm going to Trump administration, number 45's administration under the CARE Act, millions of dollars. And you're going to sit around here and tell me that $1.5 million is in that budget? Are you kidding me, Director Ladd? Are you kidding me? Baraka administration, M5 administration, are you kidding me? And then you only named a couple of, I think it was 3 agencies, Catholic Charities and 2 other agencies. You didn't even name 224. And I know other agencies besides Catholic Charities and the ones that was listed. Okay? In that, let me go to I'm going to give you the 3 agencies. Now, I know you're not going to just tell me that those are the only agencies let me go to it. Here it is. Catholic Charities, Newark Emergency Services, which is not a shelter. St. James Social Service Corporation, not a shelter. Salvation Army, not a shelter. That these are the agencies that is receiving the homeless dollars. You're not just going to tell me that and get away with it. And you're not going to tell me that it was $1.6 million in this budget. You're not going to tell me that's all the money that you received. So this got to be an open request from the past year. Because it sure can't be after the CARES Act. So I'm going to ask you one more time. And I tried to call today and was hung up because they probably seen my number, seen my name. They probably got caller ID and hung up and didn't answer the phone after I kept calling back. The mayor's 973-733-6400 number, which is being manned by a school board member, Dawn Hayes. who's also Mayor Baraka's secretary or whatever, who answers the call. Okay? So, and I got a witness. They seen me call and they pick up the phone and hung up. Because I was trying to call to get an update on, first find out Director's direct phone number. And give her a call to find out why she didn't respond to my comment about giving me an updated budget on the homeless prevention money. But it's a special tomorrow, and I will look into it. But let's get down with giving thanks. You got to give thanks for the little things. And it's been a long time coming, and it was a lot of cowing down and bowing down, and for the mayor's vision. What you tell me, is this a vision that you want to actually bow down and cow down and say that this is a vision? Do you know how long it took for one, a homegrown mayor who been here advocating at one time for this particular less fortunate population? You know how long? Why do we have to, force elected officials, call them out, hold them accountable, okay? Why do we have to do this when the money was already in the budget? Why do we have to beg a homegrown person here who professes that he have a love for this city, a love for humanity, a love for the people, and advocated at one time? Why we had to protest, shout, rally, cry, have people make calls in to the city, to our state leaders, county leaders, and all federal leaders, Booker, and all these individuals? Why we have to rally all these months and years during this pandemic? Okay? For them to do something. When all these individuals profess to be homegrown and live here in the city of Newark. How dare you? How dare you? And then on top of that, millions of dollars coming to this city, come to this county, in the state of New Jersey, for this very population. Is this a vision that community advocates, housing advocates have to fight tooth and nail, be terrorized, harassed for you to do something? And you profess this your vision? Then you talk about Haynes was your vision. Do you know how long that building sat vacant? Bassett Terrace, how long it sat vacant? For you to actually come in here and talk about you did something when it was done under Booker's administration? How dare you? And more people got jobs at the Haynes building and at Bassett Terrace under Booker administration than your administration, Baraka administration, ever. More jobs than ever under a administration of a person who you said was an outsider. But you sit around here and want to take credit. You want to take credit. You want to say this is your vision. What kind of vision is this? That we got to fight you tooth and nail about everything. Fought about the water until you had to get up and do something about it. Fought about this. And these are things you knew about years ago. the water contamination. Years ago, under the water group, when they fought tooth and nail for them not to privatize the water. We fought tooth and nails. A lawsuit. People went to jail. Then you want to come around here and talk about getting all the credit. And instead of giving credit to the Newark Water Group and all the advocates who are out here on the front line holding you all accountable. How dare you? But this is your vision. And I say to you, this is Booker on steroids. I don't even think we would probably even have to go this hard at Booker. How we did under this administration. But this your vision. It's okay, it's your vision. Because people, real eyes who realize real lies. Okay? Real eyes that realize real lies. Know exactly that this is a shame. Shame on you. Shame on you. Shame on you. And still, 7 containers, 20 to 24 people is not enough. And we're not giving up, and we're not going to stop. Because you promised not to have shelters, okay, along with the Bridges administration. Sheltering was not going to be your end all. Sheltering, you didn't want to deal with sheltering. You wanted to be in the business of housing people. And guess what? That's exactly what we're going to hold you accountable to. So you can open up Miller Street. The containers open up. All the shelters are packed and around the city, filled to capacity. But all the millions of dollars, we still calling on housing, which is a human right. People that have their own homes. We are calling on you to continue fighting for housing, permanent housing, not shelters, not temporary shelters, not pilot programs, not none of that, with all the millions of dollars that's trickling in to this city for this particular population. Housing assistance and homeless population. We're not going to stop. We're not going to be pacified. Some people are. Some of the people are. You know, they're going to bow down and cow down, you know, and all that stuff. Because, you know, and we still got the that type of mentality, like Brother Malcolm said, the house ninja and the field ninja. And you know what I want to say. Brainwash Newarkers, sheeps, and then we got the ones who are woke. Okay? Real eyes, real lies, real lies. Real eyes, real lies, real lies. Okay? And being tricked and bamboozled. See, everybody ain't a sheep. Everybody ain't looking for the carrot or 30 pieces of silver. So a lot of us going to ask questions like, if I would have been able, as a community person, to give my community response, like those news reporters that you have there. And today we don't have investigative reporters. We don't have fact finders. We don't have people who want to get the facts and do their investigative research and reports. But we do have somebody, David Trout. Professor David Trout just came out with a disparity report from Rutgers. Go Google his name, David Trout. Okay? Truitt. David Trout, Rutgers professor, did a disparities report. And a heck of a research. And also he gave you the recommendations on how the city could be able to address the plight, the housing, the economic disparity that's going on in the city. Just go get that report. David Trout, Rutgers professor. And you'll see it for yourself. What would it take for the city to bring equity, equitable jobs, housing, contracts to the people of the city? Go read the report for yourself. See, the problem is with Newark residents, they want to go around. They see, they got they are in an abusive relationship with black leadership. Okay, they get jobs and they kiss behinds. Okay, for $1, for 30 pieces of silver. Sell their souls, sell their people out just for a job, just for money, just for all of that. But everybody here is not about that. And you have a right to work here and not cow down and bow down. You have a right to work here and be employed here. And if you end up coming up, speaking up for your rights, for the rights of people, like myself and other fearless advocates in the city who are not scared to speak truth to power and hold these individuals accountable, that's what you vote for, to hold individuals accountable that you put in office. And when they don't do the right job, you call them out and you vote them out. That's exactly what you're supposed to do. You're not supposed to vote and elect people into office. They take your power, your vote, and then turn their backs on you. And then you suffer in silence. That's not what it's all about. You hold the power. You have more power than you think you have. And don't let nobody tell you that advocating and fighting for your rights is a crime, because it's not. Those individuals get paid from your tax-funded dollars. We pay their salaries. Everything that's flowing through here, all these grants, all this money for tax abatement, tax subsidy, your money, your dollars. You have a right to provoke accountability and hold your elected officials accountable without being in fear of being terrorized, harassed, and whatever. Okay? You have a right. So don't let nobody make you feel that you're wrong because you're standing up for your rights and you provoking accountability. And also, no one is above reproach. I wouldn't care who's elected. I don't care who it is. It's not personal. It's business. It's about your money. These people make decisions that affect your life. That Newark is, you said is moving forward. Forward for who? Housing for who? Jobs for who? When Newark is in a state of poverty. Okay? 30,000. The majority of the people in this community make 30,000 a year or less. In poverty. Okay? Look around your city. Look around. Forward for who? Newark forward for who? Look who is being enriched. Their salaries went up under this leadership. I think the amount of money that they came from under this administration is surpassed the Booker administration. Okay? Yeah, all we got to do is have some kind of investigative reporter, which they by design got rid of them. By design, try to bring down the local newspapers and papers that was actually having reporters that was doing this type of work. That it's by design that they want to take control over the media and the news and push their agenda and push their lies and hold the lies and all that type of stuff. Okay? But it's important that you cover your story. Tell your story. Tell the real story. The real hardship that's going on within our communities and with our people. It is our responsibility to do that and call them out when they're not doing their job. Call them out. I sat there today. I had about maybe 6 or 7 questions that I wanted some news reporters to ask. Okay? Scared to touch the questions. The majority of the news reporters that was there didn't even ask questions. Questions that needed to be asked. Asked. Didn't even bother. Then we didn't have the homeless population there. So anybody could interview them and, talk to them about the state of homelessness, how they feel about these containers and, and all the stuff. Because a lot of them don't even want to be, they said they don't want to be crammed up in no containers. And, the point that I'm making is that they didn't even have the population to get their feedback. They didn't have them there. And then what gets me is that the mayor had the audacity to say, and we're going to make sure they get vaccinated. And I said, hold up. You're not forcing no vaccines. Reverend Roundtree heard me in the back, and I assume he probably did, but he didn't want to respond because he was up there, speaking at the podium. But he had the audacity to say, and that they will be vaccinated. But hold on. This is not no forced vaccine. Okay? Ras Baraka? Because you claim to have, taken the vaccine that, I would show it all over. Where's the video? Anybody see him take it? I only heard one person say she seen him take the vaccine. And other Newarkers don't even know nothing about it, didn't even see it. But then you forced to talk about these individuals will be vaccinated. Well, let's hope not by choice, because all of them are not interested in your vaccine or pushing Big Pharma's vaccine. Let's be clear about that. And we'll be checking up on that as well. Because don't think because, you opened up that place that we're not going to be, keeping a watchful eye on, how it's being maintained, ran, and, all the other stuff that we address at these other shelters. We're going to be watching this one too, as well as all the other shelters that our less fortunate are being housed at. But the fact of the matter is that billions coming in. Newark got millions of dollars under the COVID CARES Act. Biden's just sent in under this COVID package that they just voted on. $45 billion. That's the number for homeless and housing assistance. Follow the money. Follow the money. People, it is your responsibility. $45 billion is not coming out their pockets. $45 billion is coming from years and years and years and years and years and years of taxpayer money and years to go. That's going to be put on your children, and children on their backs. So, there were some questions that I wanted to ask, and I am going to see if I can go to the questions, and hopefully you all can ask these questions. I'm going to go to them. And hopefully you all can respond. Fact of the matter, like I said, after all the rallying cries, protesting for housing for the homeless, like I said, finally millions of dollars